Let's face it, anxiety doesn't care about logic. You can know something isn't worth stressing over, but your mind won't let it go. It's like trying to straighten a dog's tail. The dog's tail cannot be straightened, even if you keep it in a tube for 40 years. As Persian wisdom reminds us, some things aren't meant to be fixed. They're meant to be understood, accepted, and managed. So, here's the truth. Fighting anxiety with brute force won't work. Instead, the answer lies in learning how to navigate the storm with wisdom, resilience, and a little bit of ancient Persian insight. Think about the last time you tried to avoid a problem. Did it disappear? Or did it just grow, looming larger and larger in the back of your mind? Persian philosophers captured this perfectly. Even if you hide in a mouse hole, the cat will still find you. Avoidance doesn't bring peace. It feeds the anxiety. The solution? Face the issue head on. Anxiety thrives in the shadows of uncertainty. Shine a light on it, and it starts to lose its grip. In Persian mythology, the peri, a fairy-like creature, was cursed to remain in her supernatural form until she atoned for past sins. Her journey toward redemption wasn't easy, but it was transformative. What's your peri moment? The thing you're avoiding, the mistake you can't forgive yourself for. Here's the lesson. Redemption isn't about erasing the past, it's about growing from it. Anxiety often comes from the fear that our mistakes define us. Persian wisdom teaches us that they don't. They refine us. You're not in control, and that's okay. The Persian huma bird, said to grant kingship to anyone its shadow touched, teaches us a profound truth. The most life-changing moments are beyond your control. Think about the biggest opportunities or changes in your life. Did you plan them perfectly, or did they come out of nowhere? Anxiety tries to convince you that you can control everything, but Persian wisdom whispers the opposite. Fortune is unpredictable, and that's not something to fear, it's something to embrace. When Cyrus the Great defeated the Lydian king Croesus, he didn't execute him. Instead, he made him an advisor. Imagine that, turning an enemy into an ally. This isn't just a lesson in mercy, it's a masterclass in perspective. Anxiety has a way of painting everything as black and white, but Persian philosophy reminds us that even the worst situations can hold hidden opportunities. What's stressing you out right now? What if, instead of a threat, it's an invitation to grow? Let's talk about Xerxes. When a storm destroyed the bridge he'd built across the Hellespont, his response was to whip the sea. Absurd. Absolutely. But how often do we do the same thing? Anxiety often comes from trying to control the uncontrollable. Persian wisdom urges us to step back. Fighting the sea doesn't calm the storm. Accepting its power does. Here's a paradox. Wisdom isn't flashy. It doesn't shout. It whispers. Persian literature puts it like this. The bird of wisdom flies low, but the bird of ignorance soars. In the context of anxiety, this means that the answers aren't in grand gestures or dramatic fixes. They're in the small, quiet choices you make every day. Take a deep breath. Slow down. Listen. Ambition isn't inherently bad, but when it spirals into unchecked competition, like the conflict between Artaxerxes II and his brother Cyrus, it destroys everything. Anxiety often stems from this same overreach. You set impossible standards for yourself, then punish yourself for falling short. Persian wisdom invites you to rethink this. Inner peace doesn't come from winning every battle. It comes from knowing which ones are worth fighting. Back to the dog's tail. What if the tail represents your anxiety? What if instead of trying to straighten it, you learn to live with its curve? Persian wisdom doesn't promise a life free from struggle. It promises resilience. The dog's tail doesn't need to be straightened, and your life doesn't need to be perfect. Embrace the imperfections, and you'll find the calm you've been searching for. Darius Wars faced a unique challenge. The Scythians refused to fight him directly, constantly retreating and wearing him down. Sound familiar? Anxiety often feels like that. An enemy that won't engage, just constantly gnaws at your resolve. Darius adapted. He learned to outlast them, and so can you. The key is flexibility. Stop expecting life to play by your rules. Learn to dance with its unpredictability instead. You can hide from your problems. You can bury yourself in distractions. Pretend the storm isn't coming, but Persian wisdom is clear. Even if you hide in a mouse hole, the cat will still find you. So, what's your cat? What's the thing you're running from? Face it now, because the longer you hide, the louder it gets. The Stoics taught us that discomfort is the path to growth. The Persians showed us how to navigate that discomfort with grace. Together, they give us a roadmap for resilience. Start small. Face one fear today. Let one mistake stay uncorrected. Over time, you'll find that the things you once ran from no longer hold power over you. Avoidance feels safe, but it comes with a price: your freedom. Every time you avoid anxiety, you're building a cage around yourself. Persian mythology, like the story of the Peri, teaches us that freedom comes through confrontation, not escape. So, what's holding you back? And what are you willing to face to break free? Anxiety isn't the enemy, it's a teacher. Persian wisdom doesn't tell us to eliminate it. It tells us to learn from it, to use it as a tool for growth. The bird of wisdom flies low, quietly guiding us toward resilience. The Huma bird reminds us that fortune favors the patient, and the Peri teaches us that redemption is always within reach, no matter how far we've fallen. Your journey isn't about conquering anxiety. It's about walking alongside it, learning its lessons, and emerging stronger. Listen to the ancient whispers. They're still speaking, and they've been where you are.